Welcome back. I am Collins Trott, Child Development Faculty on the Wallace Community College Dothan campus. In this episode, we are going to be learning about quality counts. The need for high-quality childcare continues to be a topic of interest as more and more families enter the workforce and more children need care. Every week, families from all socioeconomic backgrounds drop their children off at some type of childcare. With so many children needing childcare, researchers and policymakers are tasked with figuring out how to best support the next generation of preschoolers. In this episode, we will focus on the following objectives. First, summarize the need for high quality in early care and education. Second, compare standard industry practices and high-quality practices. And lastly, describe current observation methods, tools, and techniques to implement high-quality practices. So join me, Miss Trott, as we learn all about quality counts. Decades of research on early child development has determined that when it comes to early care and education programs, quality is critical. It is suggested that thoughtfully designed preschool programs can impact and influence a child's future learning outcomes. Not only are there short-term benefits based on data collected from quantitative research projects, there are long-term benefits as well. More specifically, children from low-income homes who attend high-quality preschool programs showed higher achievement scores. Unfortunately, due to limited funding opportunities and financial restraints, there are many families who cannot afford to send their child to a high-quality preschool. Moving forward, we must consider how we, as advocates and educators, can lessen the achievement gap so that all children, no matter the socioeconomic status, can get a smart start. As more and more children need childcare, families are faced with a tremendous task of finding the right preschool program. When choosing a center, some families may contemplate certain factors like cost and affordability, hours of operation, and availability and location. Some families, on the other hand, may consider school philosophy, the education and experience of the teachers, the environment and daily activities, as well as the curriculum model and guidance policies. In order to demonstrate that all preschools are not alike, we will refer to standard industry practice as any state licensed childcare program, and we will refer to high quality practice as any childcare center that undergoes regular assessments using tools and techniques that are above and beyond the standard industry practice. To legally operate a licensed childcare program in Alabama, a center must comply with certain licensing policies and procedures. These state regulations provide a baseline standard and are primarily focused on protecting children from harm rather than advancing child development and early learning. To ensure early childhood education programs are compliant with all state policies and procedures, a licensing specialist will conduct an annual inspection or will evaluate a program as needed. One of the hallmarks of high-quality practices is the practice of continuously monitoring and evaluating a program's overall effectiveness for the purpose of accountability. Therefore, in addition to complying with the state licensing regulations, high-quality programs may utilize noted assessment tools and resources to evaluate their center and staff. Unlike standard industry practices, high-quality practices place an emphasis on promoting positive child outcomes. The key to a high-quality program is contingent upon what happens inside the classroom environment. Let's examine how both process quality and structural quality work together to influence positive outcomes for children. Process quality refers to the types of interactions that occur throughout the day between the teachers, children, families, and administrators. Process quality also considers the types of materials that are available for the children to use, as well as the activities that children engage in throughout their day. Lastly, process quality takes into account the health, well-being, and safety of the children. Structural quality, on the other hand, refers to the features and characteristics of a program. More specifically, the class size, teacher-to-child ratios, teacher qualifications and experiences, teacher pay scale, along with the allotted square footage for play space defined quality. The teacher plays a vital role in orchestrating high-quality practices. In high-quality classrooms, not only must teachers create a safe and nurturing space, they must intentionally set up the environment to support children's interests and individualities. Alabama child care programs serve a diverse population. Therefore, an intentional teacher must also consider the cultural, linguistic, and socioeconomic status of each family enrolled in their class. One of the characteristics of a high-quality early childhood program is the practice of continuously monitoring children's development along with the environmental setting and teacher interactions. By evaluating the overall performance in these key areas, teachers, administrators, and families can reflect, make necessary changes and improvements to support all students and families. There are numerous tools on the market that evaluate program quality. Common tools used in Alabama are the environmental rating scales, the classroom assessment scoring system, and the quality rating and improvement system. Environmental rating scales is a standardized assessment tool that can help caregivers, teachers, and administrators improve the quality of their program. It's also called ERS. The ERS measures process quality. The scales are used in a variety of ways, including for self-assessment by center staff, preparation for accreditation, and voluntary improvement efforts by licensing or other agencies. As suggested by the ERS, in order to provide high-quality care and education experiences to all children and their families, a child care program must provide for 3 basic needs all children have: protecting their health and safety, building positive relationships, and opportunities for stimulation and learning from experience. The Classroom Assessment Scoring System, also known as CLASS, showcases various strategies that teachers can implement to promote quality interactions. The CLASS tool focuses on the context of how teachers directly interact, engage, and communicate with the children in their classroom environments. CLASS measures cooperative and creative learning experiences and focuses on the teacher's role in allowing children to be active participants in their own learning. More specifically, CLASS promotes social justice and equity and has indicators to assess how a teacher develops a sense of community and empathy for others. The CLASS tool is divided into 3 domains: emotional support, classroom organization, and instructional support. Each domain has several dimensions, and each dimension has several indicators that provide detailed descriptions of how a teacher should interact. The Quality Rating and Improvement System, also known as QRIS, is a systematic approach to assess, improve, and communicate the level of quality in early care and school-age child care programs. The main purpose of the QRIS is to improve and standardize the quality of care in all facilities in the state and to make child care more accessible and affordable to families. Now let's review what we've learned. Research suggests that an enriched learning environment, along with meaningful interactions and experiences, can significantly enhance a child's overall development. Not only do children deserve high-quality learning experiences, parents need assurance of knowing that their children are in safe, healthy, and nurturing environments. As early childhood educators, we must strive to regularly observe, collect data, and assess our programs and reflect on our teaching practices to be more proactive in our quest for quality. While a score is important to look at and improve on, it is not the end-all be-all. It merely serves as a guide to our practices and relates to the whole picture. Ongoing observation and documentation help keep us informed of how to best serve the children and families in our care. That wraps us up for this episode. You can learn more about this topic by reviewing the resources posted in your course. As always, if you have any questions, please contact me or your instructor. Thanks for joining me, Miss Trott, as we learned all about quality counts. See you next time.